Well, continuing our chat with the MHKs, a year into their term, of course, Glenn Faber and Peel, Geoffrey Boot, also Minister. How's it been? I mean, you did, of course, you were in before, just that last dying stages of the last administration on the by-election. So you've had a chance to see sort of the old school and the new school. How's it been for you?
Well, it's a cultural change, I have to say. And I know a lot of people have paid lip service to that, but it's changed considerably. Not only is the makeup of the members changed, 12 new members, brought a whole new feel to the Keys, but certainly I wasn't a member of Minister or Council of Ministers last time round, but from what I gather, things have changed quite dramatically. We have a cooperative air about it.
Still there?
Business, yes, still there. Yes, everyone keeps expecting it to break down, but we're doing our best to keep that atmosphere on. It's the best way to do business. I think too much adversarial behaviour is corrosive when it comes to government.
Is that something you've worked at, or do you think it just was natural because there was so much of an influx of 12 new members? And
I think
have you worked on it?
The 12 new members within the Keys, but also within the Council of Ministers.
A real big
change and a different take on things. And I think we want to cooperate. We see the way forward. Howard Quell, our new Chief Minister, or not so new now, worked very hard on the programme for government. We all worked with him and we got that out very quickly, and I think that's given us a direction of travel which perhaps took a lot longer under earlier administrations. And it's a guiding document which we're all working to.
All signed up for. Good relationship with the Chief Minister?
Yes, no problems there. I think most of the time we sing from the same hymn sheet. There are obviously occasions when within council we don't agree on everything, but that's why we have a council of ministers and we vote in a majority way and then have collective responsibility.
Now, I've asked everyone, did you have a particular thing you stood on when you went to be in the House? On doorstepping, did you have a particular point you were pushing, and have you succeeded in it?
I think my take on matters was we wanted good governance, and we needed people with business experience as well as political experience, and I genuinely believe that I'm bringing that to the table.
How do you taper everything? Because you're a busy boy. You're always doing other things. You like flying. You go everywhere. Are you a 9-to-5 politician, or would you say you're always on the case, or do you have to keep these things separate?
24 hours a day on the case. My flying has taken a back seat, although I do try and participate. My other business interests have been hived off, as it were, with other people taking the main responsibility. I still take some decisions, but I don't work at it every day. Politics is my career at the moment.
And are you enjoying it?
Yes, I really enjoy it. I was in economic development in the last Parliament, and this time round, as well as DEFA, this time round I'm now the Minister of DEFA, so I had an insight in what to expect. It's given me an opportunity to exercise some of my ideas and change things, and certainly the fisheries posed quite a challenge to start with, but we got on top of that, introduced a bag limit with king scallops and new licensing regimes for whelks and all sorts of things going on there. So it's been a challenge, but it's interesting.
And have you dealt with the sort of criticism you get because you're in the firing line? Have you found that hard to take, or part of the parcel of the job?
I've been in politics for many years. I was first elected when I was 24, if I remember rightly, in the UK, and I've done public service ever since then, one way or another. I'm used to some criticism. You have to have broad shoulders to take it. It hurts sometimes when people unjustly criticise, but at the same time, we're in the firing line and you have to take the flak. If you don't like the heat in the kitchen, don't go there.
And, you see yourself as a long-term politician then? Do you see yourself going for the top job, for instance, at some point?
Well, that's a leading question, isn't it? I don't see myself challenging Howard at all.
I'm not saying that it could not be this term. I mean, would you see yourself wanting to stand again next time?
I'm an ambitious politician, and I like to see progress, but I'm very happy in the position I'm in, and certainly will not be challenging anywhere, anytime in the future, unless opportunities arise. But I'm don't foresee that happening in the very near future.
And obviously the first year's down, it's still got lots of steam up. Before you know it, there'll be electioneering going on. Have you got things you really want to pursue in this term?
Well, at the moment within the department, fisheries are quite germane to my agenda. Also agricultural reform, the ADS, Agricultural Support Scheme, is very much in the sights, and we're working very hard on that. Also been working hard on planning review and vision for planning for the future with Cabinet Office, and that's coming through the system shortly. And there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. It sounds minor, but it has an effect on agriculture, food production. You may have noticed recently we've sort of got a bit of a reputation as being a foodie destination, and our food strategy is working. Our GDP has gone from 75 to nearly 95 million. We've got a target of 125 million by 2025, and I think we'll hit it.
What about this whole business about the territorial waters, though? It's been causing some areas to say you're not pushing hard enough to protect the Isle of Man.
I think that is absolute rubbish, to be honest. I'm sorry to say that, Mr. Moffat, but we are trying very hard, and it would have been germane to speak to me before, or the department, before going live with his plea to the UN. Brexit is a big challenge for us, particularly in the agricultural sector, because most of our fishery production and agricultural production is exported, and it's exported on the back of agreements with the EU through the UK, and even to America we piggyback off that in terms of tariffs. When it comes to territorial sea, the UK have recently given notice that they're going to withdraw from the London Convention. Well, that's good news for us because that's an earlier agreement to the EU Common Fisheries Agreement, and it means that access granted under that convention will terminate in 2 years' time. We're working very closely with DEFRA at the moment and the other jurisdiction around the Irish Sea to ensure that we get the best deal for our territorial waters. My ideal would be to see territorial waters for Manx fishermen and Manx boats only, but we have to work with other jurisdictions because we have historic access, they have historic access, and of course fish don't stick to borders, and the spawning and recruiting to our fishery, some of it takes place outside of our waters, so we need to have common conservation measures.
If you didn't have this particular job, is there any other department you would have your eye on if you had, when the reshuffle happens?
Oh, when the reshuffle happens, thank you, Paul.
Yeah.
Very leading question.
I know.
I'm very happy where I am at the moment. Let's put it like that.
Is there anything that takes you fancy though? If you had a choice of something else?
I like economic development because I worked there previously.
Yeah. Department for Enterprise.
Enterprise now. Well, it sounds better than dead, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But yes, I do like that. So and
the business side of you, businessman.
But yeah, that's the one.
Okay. How do you rate your performance out of 10 so far? In this first year, what would you mark yourself out of 10?
I think it's for others to mark me, really.
I'm asking everybody, so give yourself, something.
I've no idea, really. I mean, I think I'm doing reasonably well with the agricultural community and the fisheries community. I'm delivering. I think within the department itself, people have direction of travel. There's not the uncertainty that there has been under other administrations, from what I understand. I think that's good. So maybe 7 or 8 out of 10.
Okay, and the government as a whole, the House of Keys, and how do you rate the performance?
Well, I think the House of Keys, I think the level of debate is much improved, and I would say that that's gone up a notch. In terms of out of 10, I would say we're around 7 or 8. It has to be, and there will be opposition, and I understand that, but I like intelligent debate, not debate or opposition for opposition's sake, and the same applies to government itself. There's debate takes place. Some people are going to oppose certain things. Well, that's natural, but it doesn't need to become acrimonious, and I certainly don't think that is the case at the moment. I hope it doesn't dissolve into that in due course.
And in 5 years, at the minute, you'd be looking to stand again?
I suspect so, Paul. It's an early 4 years down the line, so we'll see what comes up and how it goes. But I certainly like the constituency. I get on well, I think, with most of the people, and I enjoy the environment I'm working in at the moment.